Hey guys, what's up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another double movie review, aka After I Saw. Now, the first movie I'm reviewing, I haven't seen the other movie yet. I'm going to be seeing that tomorrow, but it doesn't matter because you're still getting both reviews in the video. When I review the next movie, it's going to be a different scene because I haven't seen that movie yet, but the first movie I'm going to be reviewing is Where the Crawdads Sing. Now, in this film, we follow a woman who gets accused of murder, a murder that happens in the woods, and given how she lives in the woods by herself, she's like the only one who lives in the woods. She uses is a boat, and this happens like starting off like around the 1940s and 50s and stuff to the 70s and stuff. It's based off a novel, and we see what happens through her life, like in the woods by herself, nearby the creek or something. And her family leaves one by one because of their abusive father. And once her father is gone, then she's by herself. And she meets this guy or whatever, and they develop a strong relationship. And then something happens. He leaves, and she develops a relationship with another guy. And yeah, we got ourselves a romance story, a love triangle story, a mystery thriller, and a crime movie. And I don't know, it's based off a novel, and a lot of people at my work went to go see this movie. There are actually quite a bit of people who actually plan on seeing this movie because it's based off a popular novel that I never heard of. So yeah, I don't know if this is anything like the book because I haven't read the book. I mention this all the time when I review book to film adaptations. I don't read books. I see movies, so I'm just judging this as a film. I'm not saying like, oh, this wasn't anything like the novel or anything like that, because the novel kind of got a mixed reception, as well as this film. Critics are like very divided on this film, but audiences seem to love it. I, for one, was very, very mixed on this one. There are times where I kind of liked what was happening, but at the same time, it kind of got a little bit ruined for me. For one thing, the performances are good, okay? But to be honest, the only one you're really going to care about is the main girl because the other characters are awful, okay? Even the boyfriends and stuff, especially the ones that people often treat her like crap. Like, she has gone through a horrible life, like a really bad life. I mean, her family leaves her dad's abusive, and when she gets sentenced to jail or sentenced to court, people want her to be executed. Like if she committed this crime, she wants to be sentenced to death, and everybody was all like, yeah, yeah, sentence her to death. Like, are you serious right now? Like, she probably didn't even commit the murder. Like, I get it. We're supposed to feel bad for her, and that's fine and all, but other characters, I just could care a whole lot less about. As for the romance stuff, it starts off fine at first, but you knew trouble was gonna happen. Like, I just knew exactly what was gonna happen, like with the whole romance stuff. Like, some brief spoilers, but her boyfriend leaves her, and she gets another one, and all of a sudden he comes back, and yeah, a lot of trouble happens in the movie, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like in the book, but I don't know. I mean, the movie wasn't boring, okay? Like, there are times where I felt like the concept of this movie could have worked really, really well, but for me, I just kind of found it as blah. Like, there are times in the movie when it comes to the romance parts, like there's like so many makeout scenes that happen like every 5 minutes where they're taking off each other's clothes and stuff like that, but it doesn't get, extremely raunchy because it's PG-13, but they like show it off every 5 minutes or so, and I'm all like, okay, we get it, you're supposed to be in love, you don't really have to like shove it down our throats. Yeah, the movie, I kind of did like how it was a little like I don't know if it's just me, and I tried getting into it, but in the end, I was just flat out frustrated while watching this movie. And the ending too, I'm not sure what went on with that ending. Like, it was supposed to be like a happy ending or I don't know. The last 10 minutes was just like, okay, so if I go any, I mean, I have been spoiling a bit, but if I go any further, then you're probably just anyway. But look, I didn't hate everything about this movie. Okay, it has good performances. It's a nice looking movie, and it wasn't boring despite its 2 hour runtime. I did see myself getting a bit invested, but there were just stuff that happens in this movie that kind of ruined it for me. Where I was all like, I kind of knew where the story was going to go, but hey, audiences are really loving this movie right now, and that's cool if you did. And when I left the theater, people were talking about how faithful it was to the book. So if they're happy that it was faithful to the book, then it's fine. But for me, I was kind of mixed on it. But for me, I kind of left the theater sort of caring, but sort of not caring because a lot of the characters were very dull and bland. The main girl, I think, was probably the most interesting one, given how she lived her life in the woods. But and the fact that it takes place in the 70s, it does kind of make sense why she lived in the woods by herself, but she would have kind of needed a job or something to live on. It might have happened in the movie, I just wasn't paying attention, but in the end, it was a mixed bag for me, okay? Good performances, nice visual effects, but a story that left me a bit mixed, and it had me not really caring much for the sub characters and the plot of the movie. It just came off as a bit predictable, and the ending just left me a bit confused. It was a bit underwhelming, and I don't know. I don't feel like it's worth revisiting. I mean, maybe it might get better if because there is a good movie in here somewhere, and audiences are really enjoying it. I'm just probably missing something. And I've been doing this review for 7 minutes. I haven't even gotten to the next movie yet. So the best way I can describe it is it was a mixed bag. It's definitely not a bad film, in my opinion, but it's definitely one that wasn't what I was hoping for. And now, on to the next review. Alright, now I just saw the second movie, and that is Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Now, this movie stars Leslie Manville. Her husband recently passed away, and during her job, she finds this dress that she absolutely loves, and it just so happens that it's from Paris, so she tends to travel to Paris to find a dress for herself that will look really, really good on her. Well, not just that, it's not really just about her finding a dress. She also interacts with other characters, and one of them is having like a romance issue, but it's not really a romance story, even though it involves going to Paris. Like Mrs. Harris isn't trying to find anyone else to get over her loss, the loss of her husband, as she kind of gets over it a little bit fast. But this is also based off a novel, which I didn't really know about. But unlike where the Crawdads Sing, though, I did have myself having a very, very enjoyable time with this. This movie did not frustrate me whatsoever because it's not something where you really need to sit down and think about what's going on, because it's more for entertainment purposes and not really trying to tell like a really phenomenal story, because the story isn't really like, I don't know, super memorable, but where this movie is really going for is its design, and it's also going for really strong performances, and everybody. Leslie Manville is terrific in this movie, and the story is actually pretty strong. Not perfect, but I mean, the movie is kind of slow-paced. Mrs. Harris doesn't really fully go into Paris until like the first 25 minutes as she's trying to make the money to get to Paris, but she manages to get it pretty quickly when she's having struggles with getting the money. But yeah, not going to go into full spoiler territory, but yeah, the movie is very straightforward. She's trying to look for a dress, but she's not really getting the dress just so she'll look good. It's actually a bit more deeper than that, and I actually wanted her to get the dress that she wants, and the movie has quite a bit of emotion to it, and surprisingly a bit of heart to it as well. Well, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is a film for much older audiences, and such older audiences, like to see, nice things happen on screen without having to deal with huge amounts of violence or stuff. meaning it's mostly for elders. Despite its PG rating, it can be almost for anyone. I mean, there is some suggestive stuff here and there. It's kind of weird, but I shouldn't be surprised. Also, the look of Paris and the costume design and all of that, it is all to be expected to be very, very well done. It's a very well directed movie, it's a very well looking movie, and there really isn't that much that I really need to talk about because unfortunately this isn't playing everywhere. Like, it's not playing at my work. I don't see why, because we had a poster up, but yeah, but Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, I definitely give a recommendation. It has heart, it's very nice looking, and it's a very straightforward drama film with a very likable main protagonist and huge amounts of scenery and costume. It is a film that is very bearable to get through. The movie knew exactly what it was trying to be, and since it's also based off a novel and audiences are also really, really digging this movie as well, I feel like yeah, it's definitely going to please a lot of people. It might not make a whole lot of money, but I have a feeling it is definitely going to win the hearts of many audiences out there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I am super excited for Nope this week. I already got my ticket, and I am really looking forward to that. I really hope that doesn't disappoint. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.